Food. We can't live without it. From sadza to bread and rice, food is why we wake up each morning and go to work. But here's the problem. We're not growing enough of it. What can we do to change this? What is being done? Let's take a look.
The state of the nation.
The war in Ukraine has shown us all just how important it is to be self-sufficient in terms of food. Food prices are going up everywhere you look. Just look at the numbers. Vegetable oils up by 100% since 2020. Sugar up more than 50%. Cereals like wheat, which we need to make bread, up by 60%. Fertilizer prices have gone up by more than 70% here in Zimbabwe. That's 70% up in US dollars. It's going to get worse. According to the UNDP, food and fertilizer shortages will even get worse in 2023. Zimbabwe is one of the most affected. Our food inflation is among the highest in the world. This shows why we need to focus more on food sustainability than we have before. There's an urgent need to look at our food production. So, what do we do about all this? First, let's talk about how much food we really need. Every year, we need over 2 million tons of maize. This year, we're producing 1.5 million tons. What about cooking oil? Zimbabwe needs 8,500 tons of edible oils every month. We spend over $20 million every month to import these. What about sugar? Zimbabwe is producing about 400,000 tons per year. That's just about enough to meet demand. The rest of the sugar is exported to other countries. Traditionally, Zimbabwe did not produce a lot of rice. This is changing now. More and more people are switching to rice. Rice production increased by 15% from last year to 540,000 tons of rice this year. That's quite a jump. In 2005, we ate just about 18,000 tons of rice. Seed companies are seeing this. The scientists at Seedco have developed 2 new rice varieties. These are adapted to our local climate and rainfall patterns. What about bread? In Zimbabwe, we need a lot of wheat. The country needs about 400,000 tons every year. Some of it is grown here at home and some is imported. Remember, Zimbabwe has always imported part of its wheat requirements. Bakers need a mix of both imported and local wheat to make the quality bread that we buy in the shops. But what we are doing is increasing the amount of local wheat as much as we can. In 2021, wheat production was achieved on 66,436 hectares. This year, more land has been put under wheat at 78,798 hectares. This is a record for Zimbabwe. But how is this being done? Well, let's look at some of what's happening in parts of the country. Some of this is being done from the bottom up. Let's go to Lupane. This is a dry area. Traditionally, people did not farm at a large scale in this region. This is changing. We have ARDA, the Agriculture and Rural Development Authority. This is the agency that develops farming areas around the country. Years ago, ARDA had some of the best estates. Some of them had collapsed, but they're coming back. One of them is in Lupane. ARDA has brought together groups of local farmers under a scheme to grow wheat. For the first time, this traditionally dry area will be producing wheat for the nation. This is part of what is called the Agriculture and Food System Transformation Strategy. It is about rebuilding food production systems from the grassroots. And here's another grassroots food production story. This time, we're in the Shashe area of Beitbridge in Mat South. Here, almost 100 farmers came together under a citrus production scheme. They're producing oranges to supply companies such as Schweppes, which makes our beloved Mazoe Orange Crush. These small-scale farmers have been partnered with bigger, more experienced estates. That way, there is a sharing of skills. This is how we can grow our food production. What do these 2 examples from Bubi and Beitbridge tell us? They're telling us that sustainable food production can start small. It does not always have to be about big farming estates. Large-scale farming is good. We want more investment in that area, but we must not leave the small-scale farmer behind. Individually, small farmers struggle. But when they're joined together, they become a powerful unit that can transform our food production system. This is why we must push for policies that secure food supplies at the household level. You've heard of Pfumvudza, but there's also the new presidential horticulture scheme introduced by the Ministry of Agriculture. This is also about making sure that each household has a sustainable food supply. Under this scheme, at least 2 million households are being targeted with vegetable seed packs and fruit trees. Small-scale farmers are being twinned with larger farmers. This is how they can grow. The Agriculture Marketing Authority is the agency that is tasked with making sure that farmers have access to markets. AMA is helping farmers to organize themselves into clusters. This way, schemes are easier to manage. They can also apply as a group to banks for funding. To do more of this, Zimbabwe needs to scale up partnerships that work to support farmers. One such program is the Smallholder Agriculture Cluster Project. It is supported by the OPEC Fund for International Development. Under this program, groups of farmers come together and get support for climate-smart farming projects. Above all this, what we need to see is farmers getting value for their labor. Let us make farming profitable. Farmers work hard. They need to be paid well. Our private millers are today importing maize outside the country. The whole marketing system needs transformation if we're to keep farmers on the land. We all need food. So it's time we work harder on supporting the people who are working hard to grow it. And that is the state of the nation.